I take it that clock's right. Let's call this meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So, and it is 6:03. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Oh, you can do a roll call first.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's take attendance. Roll call, please.
Chair Hayward,
Here.
Vice Chair Smith,
Here.
Eric Smith,
Here.
Tony Spina,
Here.
Robert DeWitt,
Here.
Phil Marshall.
Here. Okay, now we can move on to approve the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Yeah, I'll make that motion to approve the agenda as written.
Support. Eric Sent makes a motion to approve the agenda, and Robert DeWitt supports. Can I get a roll call?
Vice Chair Smith,
Yes.
Eric Smith,
Yes.
Tony Spina,
Yes.
Robert DeWitt,
Yes.
Phil Marshall,
Yes.
Chair Hayward.
Yes. And then moving on to the minutes. Anybody have any corrections on the minutes or like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion that minutes be approved.
And I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we get a roll call?
Vice Chair Smith,
Thank you.
Yes.
Eric Smith,
Yes.
Tony Spina,
Yes.
Robert DeWitt,
Yes.
Phil Marshall,
Yes.
Chair Hayward.
Yes. All right. Thanks for attending Addison Township Zoning Board of Appeals meeting on this January 11th. First case, wait a minute, wait. First we need to do election of officers. So if we can have some nominations.
I nominate Trevor Haywood for chair for the ZBA.
I'll support that.
We have a nomination for vice chair.
Vice chair, nominate Lawrence.
Lawrence Smith.
I'll support that.
Okay. Secretary,
I'd like to nominate Eric Sent for secretary.
I can't take anything. I cannot
Right.
accept anything. I'm an elected official. I nominate Tony Spina.
I'll support.
Okay.
What else we got left?
That's pretty much it.
Okay, let's
Close nominations.
close nominees. Yeah, I make the motion to close.
Yeah, I think-
nomination.
I'll support that.
Okay, we have our nominees, and we can take a roll call vote.
Who seconded? Who supported?
I support it.
I'm sorry, call a little too fast.
Okay. Vice Chair Smith,
Yes.
Eric Smith,
Yes.
Tony Spina,
Yes.
Robert DeWitt,
Yes.
Phil Marshall,
Yes.
Chair Hayward.
Yes.
I'm not supposed to comment, so.
Okay. Now we're ready.
Okay, so we have myself as chair, Mr. Smith as vice, and Tony Spina as secretary.
Congratulations.
Everybody?
Do I have
I'm
a-
not sure this is what I signed up for, but okay.
Thank
you.
Oh,
Okay, next on our business is the approval of the December 14th, 2017 minutes.
Yeah, we did that.
we did that.
We did do that.
Yeah, we went out of order a little bit, but
I did screw this around.
we did it.
All right, let's move on to case 1706. The applicant is Paul LaFontaine, the owner, and Dan Ribbett is the agent, representing Mr. Fontaine. The address is at 1788 South Cedars, the property ad, I should read all this?
Just the property address,
The
the
prop-
parcel number.
Okay, the property address this is pertaining to tonight is at 1519 Willow Point, Leonard, Michigan, 48367. Parcel number 05-27-276-009. It's a residential R1. The applicant seeks a variance from the Township Code of Ordinances Appendix A, Addison Township zoning ordinance. The applicant is requesting an 85-foot variance with the new ordinance updated at the end of last year. I think it was December. It's now down to the actual request is going to be 35 feet, 35-foot variance for the placement of a septic field. Septic systems shall be located a minimum of 100 feet from the lake and shall be designed so as to drain away from the lake and its watersheds and its tributaries, and any wells, period. The 100-foot setback may be reduced to not less than 50 feet, provided that an applicant submits to the township an approved on-site wastewater treatment system permit issued by the Oakland County Health Department or any replacement entity. This is a deliberation meeting. We heard and recorded from the public in the applicant in the previous meeting in December. There will be no more entered information to this. Correspondence may be accepted. And does the applicant or representative have anything else to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Does the board have any questions or comments for the applicant?
Yeah, I have a question. I remember when you presented the last time you were here last month, it never really was stated on the record. Your old system is failed, it cannot be used, and therefore you're getting a new water treatment center system. Is that correct?
It's bad. The idea is primarily to update it. I don't know that I could say that the one that's in there is failed.
Okay, the reason I'm asking this is you need to prove to us, show that this is a hardship, why you need this variance.
Well, I think that the whole system that is being put in is all updated, latest state-of-the-art type of improvements. So I don't know that I can speak to any other hardship than to go from what it is to the new system and all the benefits that would be derived from that. So the hardship, of course, is that what's there is inadequate. It's just old school.
Okay, I think for the record, this variance is requested to update
Yes,
update the system.
yes.
So you're asking what is the problem that is causing you to spend all this money for this engineered system? What's the problem?
The premise being that I guess overall, it's going to improve the water
Okay.
and the effect of the old system as it would relate to the new system and
I don't
improvement.
doubt that at all.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do this?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely need to do this.
Oh, I think that's what
Oh, I
Mr.
think
Simp was asking. Why are you doing this?
Yes, absolutely. I guess I was confused by that the need aspect to demonstrate heat. The need is that the one is totally inadequate,
Okay, okay.
Oh, it's too small or it's
too small.
Too small.
What's made it too small?
Well, it's a two-bedroom, year-round dwelling. It's two individuals living there full-time. I think when it was designed for something less than that, used in a capacity more as a summer residence, if you will, cottage, not cottage, but a home that was not a 100% year-round use.
Mr. LaFontaine, are you noticing unusual, anything unusual about it at presently? I mean, are you pumping the tank out more frequently, or just trying to get understanding where
Where the need is,
Yeah.
it's all of the above. I mean,
Yeah.
we're pumping it on a regular basis, and I think it's just one of those things that I would say I have the wherewithal to improve it, feel like it's warranted for the purposes, the future of the water, the future of the location, and what ultimately will be needed for everyone. And I think it's just a question of I can do it now. I feel like it should be done now. I think the system that I'm putting in is state of the art. And obviously, we could just, the way to go for the future, for the sake of the water, for the sake of.
No, we appreciate that, for sure. Do you have anything more to?
Yeah, now, speaking of the state-of-the-art system, that has an alarm on there if something goes wrong.
Yes.
And that, yeah. So.
Yes.
Okay, now I think that I just wanted to get it on the record, because last month it was kind of assumed, you're going to, assume that the old system was inadequate. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all I have.
Anybody else?
Nothing.
I'm all set.
I'm not sure if you touched on this last meeting. You do have two different systems. And was there a reason or rhyme for that?
The system, what we have on the plans was a system that we developed with the approval of the health department. The system that's on the plans was actually designed by the health department, the county health department, that they worked with the engineer, and that's what they ultimately said would be the best system, very environmentally safe.
So the two different systems working in tandem
Together, yes.
gives you the best
Yes,
outcome.
yes.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Anybody else have anything else?
Where does the new system set in regards to the old system?
As far as the field, the
Yes.
drain field, it's in the same place.
Same place?
Yes. Where the field is now, the original.
And you, I'm sure, tightened up as much as you can tighten up away from the lake. With the
Yes,
design presently.
yes.
Let's talk about the, just touch base real quick on the dimension of the variance. I'm usually the one doing some homework while the chairman's running with the ball. Well, I'm doing both, so bear with me. I think I had mentioned or asked that in regards to the septic system, the ordinance does identify or define the septic system, meaning the field, the tanks, and all the above, the connecting pipes, etc. So just wanted to double check myself. The closest point being, it looks like the 17 feet.
The 17 feet is to the first tank, first and second tank.
Okay, and then by my math, the request should be for a 33-foot variance. Does that sound, am I right?
Instead of 35?
That's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
It's a well done design. A lot of numbers and, yeah, so that's the absolute that I can tell, 17 feet. So the actual hard dimension is 33 feet on the variance. Okay. If there's no further comments or questions, I'd like to ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance for 33 feet for the placement of the septic field for property on 1519 Willow Point, Leonard, Michigan, parcel 0527 276 009.
I'll support that.
I think we probably should also add into regarding that this is recorded in the deed,
I think, yeah, we,
right?
okay,
Is
yeah, we can add that
everything
to the motion.
So I would like to amend the motion, Mr. Sen, to,
Include maintenance of the system.
to include maintenance.
To include maintenance and also in the deed that it goes with the property, with the land. Yeah, I accept that amendment.
And I'll support the amendment.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
We'll take a roll call vote. Yes means to agree with the variance as presented. Okay, roll call, please.
Vice Chair Smith,
Yes?
Eric Sen,
Yes.
Tony Spina,
Yes.
Robert DeWitt,
Yes.
Chair Hayward.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. What am I missing? Let's put this away. Okay, moving on to the next case. Case number 1707. The applicant is Mr. and Mrs. Barlow, but we have Ray Rogers of Rockworks as the agent. And the address is at 1725 Sunburst Drive, Troy, Michigan. Sorry, this is another double address. The actual property address and subject here at hand is 330 Cantley, Leonard, Michigan, 48367. Parcel ID is 05-27253-011, residential R1. The applicant seeks variances from the Township of Addison Code of Ordinances, Appendix A, Addison Township Zoning Ordinance, Article 13, Section 1303.5, as listed below. Request a 37 by 15 feet, 6 inches variance for a limestone wall. Number 2, request a 40 by 11 foot variance for limestone wall. Number 3, a 27 by 16.6 variance for limestone wall. Number 4, a 26 by 9 variance for ledgestone wall. Number 5, a 48 by 17 variance for a ledgestone wall. Number 6, request a 36 by 11.6 variance for a ledgestone wall. The above requested variances 1 through 6 for proposed ledgestone walls. The wall height of the variances are proposed at 4 feet. In other words, those last 6 are going to be those length, but by 4 feet tall. Number 7 request, 106 by 19 feet variance for ledgestone seawall. And number 8, request 4 to 5 feet and 25 feet variance for ledgestone steps. In regards to this, 13.03.5 ordinance, a natural protection strip shall be maintained within 25 feet of the normal high water line of the lake, which shall remain in native trees, shrubs, or grass. The natural protection strip shall not be filled or excavated except to position water pipes. Trees and shrubs may be pruned to afford view of the water. Would the applicant like to briefly address or elaborate on anything?
Yes, I would. As you know, I was here last time, and I just had a plan, and I for your request, come up with a cross-section explaining what we're doing, and hopefully that makes it a little more clear other than just the plan view that was first submitted. This slope is covered with non-native plants, in my view, expert opinion, invasive plants. There's not one thing native there. They don't do really, those invasive plants and vines don't do much to slow down runoff off the slope yard, which probably comes all the way from the road. Not sure if they use fertilizers or not, but the proposal was to, and I know a lot of this lake is pristine and is beautiful, and I go in front of a lot of wetland boards, and those areas should be handled quite a bit differently. This is, in my opinion, not a pristine shoreline. It was probably filled to begin with. Starting at the shoreline, it's broken riprap concrete that probably was added to over the years during the course of different people owning this and throwing things in there. It's eroded and washed away, and I think maybe that's been expedited by the large waves that some of the newer wake boats produce. That have really caused a lot of problems down here in the lakes, that causing me to change kind of my design from just total natural to some stone along with plants. I've worked with the MDEQ for a number of years and have taken their classes to become a natural shoreline qualified installer. They in fact refer me to sites that are difficult, along with like West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake. They have wetland review boards. They actually refer me to clients. Orchard Lake uses an independent environmental company out of Brighton to review the site, to give their recommendations before you go for the board. And they've always used my work as kind of a model on how to do things. Moving from the shoreline, I'm proposing to use a lot of native plants with planting soils, and the terracing supports these planting areas, so you reduce the slope, the plants can establish themselves better, and when the water is leaching through the root systems, and hits the gravel backfill on the wall, it leaches through, goes to the next one. So it's basically, these are like leaching walls, and they've been well received wherever I've installed them. It's not just all hardscape here. And I'm showing some plants between the crevices, so it'll soften the look if someone thinks, hey, that looks like too much stone. The stone steps that we're meandering through need some support and retaining just to hold them up, and they are replacing a somewhat failed wood step system that I believe, I didn't check, but if you were to do that now and it wasn't there, maybe you wouldn't be able to do it because it's maybe considered non-conforming. I don't think I have any more to add to that, other than I thought it was a very nice plan, and there's nothing natural there, so I'm trying to make it natural. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Nothing more to
I'm
add?
not, I do have one thing. I'm not sure if anybody actually looked at the site. I thought I had a photo on my first presentation that showed what's actually there, but
Yeah, we've seen that.
just,
I went out there tonight, get the snow melted, could see a little
you
better.
could, maybe you looked at it since it melted, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Just want to remind everybody the public hearing is closed. I don't believe we have any other correspondence on this matter. I guess we'll turn it over to the board if they have any questions, comments for the applicant.
I guess I would start out by making a comment, twofold comment. Okay, I think the public, did you want to open up the public?
Public hearing was last month.
Right.
Okay, some gentlemen would like to make a
I had submitted some correspondence on December 5th. I don't know if that was distributed or not.
Okay, are you, yeah,
Jeff,
Onashinsky.
Lisinski, yes,
yes,
we received that.
Okay.
Yep. All right, now what I was going to say is two things. First of all, we're not questioning your expertise, okay? I'm talking to the installer. But secondly, we have an ordinance that is on the books, you know, that we have to consider. So that these are two things I wanted to state.
yes, thank you. Relative or not, after walking the site this evening, where is the septic field at?
I don't show it on the plan, but it's out, it's way upland on the flat part of the yard, off to one side. Oh, it's actually to the, because I did the other work out there. If you were there, you might have seen.
Mm-hmm. Looks nice, yeah.
Thank you.
To the west?
It's to the west of that, and the access to a couple different tanks are right by this kind of little shed off the back patio, and it's out in that area.
Okay.
I don't know how big it is, but it was, when we did that work, the client kind of marked it out so we didn't drive on it.
I looking around, go, well, okay, that's that, and that's that. Where would this field be?
I don't think it's a real big field.
That must not be. Like I say, relevant or not, it's just, I was curious. Well, the tricky thing here is multiple variances, so any other comments from the board before
Your comment about multiple things, 1 through 7, I agree. You look at all of them. My question to the board and the chair would be, are we going to take up each one separately, or if we wanted to deny one of them, it would probably deny the whole project because they're all related. If we said you could do 5 of them and not 2 of them, it probably wouldn't work, is that correct?
That's correct. I've yet to see
Yeah. Which
a
two of
situation
them
like
is
this where
fine.
they're all considered variance when they're all the same thing.
The other thing that concerned me about the whole thing is our ordinance, in my opinion, talks about 25-foot natural barrier. And there are a few things allowed in that natural barrier according to the ordinance. But those things that are allowed, I would, in layman's language, my opinion would be it's softscape. And as I look at the plans and look at the whole thing and everything, to me, there's a lot of hardscape in this proposed plan. And that would be my comment, that they're hardscape instead of softscape.
To add to Lawrence's remark, it would be my opinion that we vote on each variance separately.
Well, I don't know if that's necessary,
The
because, for as example, the last case we heard today, the application was for 35-foot variance, and we went with 33. We could modify the request to something else.
Well,
So I think we could,
Well, let's explore that for a minute here.
yeah,
'cause
let me
there-
qualify why I say that. Because part of the ordinance says that it does not affect the wall. Okay?
Seawall or the wall?
Seawall is not part of this ordinance. And seawall is part of item 7.
Yeah, I get where
That's
you're
why
going.
I'm saying this.
That it should be broken up, in my opinion, seawall,
well,
all alleged stone walls, number 2. Number 3, the walk, or walkway, or boardwalk, or stone walk, or whatever.
I would agree to that.
okay, how about if I make a motion that we can discuss a specific motion? And if it doesn't get a second, or we don't want to do it, that's fine too.
I would rather not,
Okay.
but that's, see, now all the pressure's on me.
Well, he can make a motion, he can motion anything he wants.
Yeah,
And it doesn't have to go
He's gotta
anywhere.
have a second.
Okay, yeah, that's the democratic way, so.
Okay.
So Tony's gonna make a motion to discuss each variance? Is that what you're getting at?
Let me read this.
Yeah.
The applicant, Laurie Barlow, has declared the property 0527-253-011 has a problem which requires a solution. The problem is a failing seawall. The solution being proposed to correct the failing seawall is the repair or reconstruction or replacement of the seawall. This work can only be performed in the 25-foot natural protection strip that applies to this property. This is the basis for the application, case number 1706, line item number 7, which requests a variance to Addison Township Ordinance Article 13. We've heard that before. Which prohibits excavating in the 25-foot natural protection strip. The repair, reconstruction, replacement of the seawall has been approved by the Michigan DEQ, and permit number WRP 008326V1 has been issued to Robert and Lori Barlow. However, 7 additional variances, numbers 1 through 6 and number 8, have been requested to allow extensive additional excavating, construction, land contouring, and landscaping by the applicant for this case 1706, which goes well beyond the minimum variance required in solving the problem of a failing seawall. As this additional excavating, contouring, and construction has not been shown to be clearly in the public interest, I make a motion to approve a variance that will only allow completion of the activities under the MEQ permit, WRP, and deny variances for all remaining items 1 through 6 and number 8.
That's your motion?
That's my motion.
I support it.
So if you think we can do them all at once, that would cover it. If we want to do them separately, then we got to do something different.
Okay, we have support.
mean, I think I made it pretty clear. The problem is a failing seawall. It's reasonable to fix the seawall. The rest of it has got nothing to do with it. And it is in this protected strip, and it's not necessary for anything. You know, this land has been there for 1,000 years or a million years. All this additional work is beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's not necessary.
Okay, interject something?
I don't know.
Well, we have a motion,
Okay,
we
we have a
have a
motion.
second, we need to vote on it.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
No,
We
we have
got
discussion.
discussion.
Then we'll vote.
Well, I gotta just back up. Something I should have said earlier and I didn't get to it, I'm not sure. Regarding the seawall, you're requesting 19-foot variance. It leaves a delta, a difference of 6 feet. The seawall is 12 to 18 inches wide.
19 inches, right?
19.
Oh, maybe that's,
19 inches. Yeah, so it goes inland, 19 inches.
I have 19 feet.
No, that's wrong, isn't it?
No, I'm a carpenter for all my life. It's
No,
19 feet. I have
That's
one.
what the agenda says. It's 106 feet by 19 feet.
That can't be right. That's 19
Well, no, that
inches.
would be 2/3 the way up the hill.
Yeah, that's 19 inches.
It's, the ledge stones are placed one behind the other, they're about 2.5 feet wide, so you cannot place anything below normal high water mark other than that cobblestone riprap, so it goes back, it varies because stone varies,
About 6 feet.
maybe 6 feet tops,
Yeah, I read 6 feet. is
I
what
think that's-
prefer. The thickness of the wall is 6 feet.
which is typically what I
That's 4
do.
feet high.
And I've done other ones on a lake, and they weren't considered
All right,
part of this
Right,
ordinance.
so it's 6 feet width?
Yes, for all practical purposes, just plus or minus, pretty close to that.
Okay,
The wall's
6
6
feet,
feet thick.
6 feet wide is not a seawall.
Well, with this material, it is. I mean, there are steel seawalls that are yay thick.
The reason it's set back is the DEQ does not want vertical surfaces. They want stuff stepped back for egress for animals to get on and to break, so it isn't an edge where water can hit and splash back. That's why it's done that way. In the past, I would stack them up. That is the preferred way the MDQ likes it for the ecology of the lake.
DEQ prescribed a roughly 6-foot
Number 7. Number 7. But not everything else.
laterally with the seawall cap or finish.
They would prefer me step it back. I still have to retain that slope or something. If I went straight up and used less space into the natural features area, the wall would be vertical and cause a problem with the MDQ, and they would kick that back to me and go, why did you do this? Because they know I know how to do it. I'm like,
Sure.
well, I have to in this case to get it approved. So I'm not going to get anything either way.
That's a step.
Let me see what the actual application says.
Yeah, I don't see 19 inches anymore.
The
So
actual
it's- so
application,
19 inches is not part of nothing, right?
I think there might be 19 inches of cobblestone riprap from the toe of the wall.
Yeah, that's not on the app, that's not on
I
the,
don't know where that came from. unless I
application
did it.
It's in our write-up, but when I look at the original
Yeah.
application, it says 2 feet. Right?
Okay.
Is it 7?
2 foot 6 inch high, 6 feet wide, at shoreline.
6 feet wide, yep.
Yeah,
6 foot.
in our agenda, it's written incorrectly.
Yep,
It
it's still on
says
the agenda.
19 feet, and that's not correct.
No, 19 feet is not
It's not correct.
Right.
The actual application that was
The
submitted
application is correct.
does say 106 feet long, 2 feet 6 inches high, 6 feet wide at shoreline. That's what was specified in the MEQ approval. So I think the motion would cover that because it says approve the minimum required to do the MEQ permit work, and that's it.
because it's not a metal steel seawall, it's
Right.
natural stone.
Much thicker.
You can't just put a stone
Right.
wall, row and
The road bricks stacked on top. Hold on.
okay.
If you look at that cross-section that you presented to us, you can see that there's,
Yeah, I see some stacked stones there, no dimension of 6 foot.
Clear.
Yeah. do you have it on yours, 6 foot?
Go through the
I
steps.
mean, now it's making sense, it's clear where we're going with this, but I just wanna make sure that wasn't a typo.
I don't quickly see 6 feet on here.
Well, but it's on,
It's on the request.
It's on the
It's
original
on the
request.
request.
It is on this request.
Yeah.
It's
Can I
on
see it, please?
item 7. Permit here. You see it on the chart?
Yep, yep.
Here's the handwritten.
Yep, I got it. No, you're right, okay. Just been transferred to the agenda. A couple other pieces. Okay, so,
Okay.
we're back to normal, back to where we were then.
his proposed agenda refers to item number 7 specifically,
7.
period.
Right. Right. Actually, your motion addresses the MEQ permit.
Right.
Which only talks about item 7.
Which talks about item 7, that's correct.
I was there today. It's basically a 40-degree hill,
And
right off the high water line.
It has been forever.
So in saying that, maybe that's not here or there, I don't know. In saying that, you go back 6 feet.
Well, the thickness of the wall is 6 feet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It was purchased like that.
Mhm, mhm. And I don't know that we recorded or have, I might have missed it, how long the homeowners have been at this residence, roughly?
It was brought up.
Oh, Lori was, that was her family cottage.
And that they,
It's been
Then
for
they
years.
repurchased
Oh,
it,
okay.
they plan on staying
She bought
there
it
for
from
summer.
Holly. So it's been decades.
So, a long time.
oh,
So she knows what it was.
Right. Well, let's stay on track with the seawall and the motion that we just went
Yeah,
through.
that doesn't prevent the applicant from proposing something else later,
Right,
separately.
right.
They can't propose this identical thing again, but they could propose something else. But for tonight, we could come up with something.
Mhm. Okay,
I mean, you couldn't reasonably start this work until the spring anyway, right?
Oh, we do them in winter.
Do you do that? Okay.
Not like it was the last couple of weeks, but like this week. And,
Okay.
Sometimes they do more work when the ice is in than out.
I don't go on to the lake, but we work almost year round doing
Okay.
stuff. Yeah. Not the planting part of it, obviously, or the
Sure.
mixes.
Yeah, but the construction.
The construction
That's good.
itself, yes.
yeah, so what other discussion do we have? Are we talking about this some more, or ready to make a motion?
the motion been made, second,
Motion's been made and seconded.
ready for a vote.
All right, hearing no other comments from the board, let's take a vote. A roll call, please.
Well, let's explain yes or no.
Okay. A yes vote for the motion means only approve the seawall repair.
You literally are approving item number 7.
Item 7,
The applicant is being approved of,
the work covered by the DEQ permit.
all right,
That's a yes. No means
no
no.
means no.
In this case, no means no. Okay, I think we're ready now. Lisa, roll call, please.
Vice Chair Smith,
Yes,
Eric Smith,
Yes.
Tony Spina,
Yes.
Robert DeWitt,
Yes.
Chair Hayward.
Yes. So that's one down.
We gotta fix the seawall. Well, no, because
That's it.
that's it.
That's it.
the motion
The motion
specifically
covers
says no.
item
to
number
it.
Oh, that's,
seven.
yeah, what I think.
Right, so
Period.
we can get the seawall fixed, and that's good, but that's it.
Okay, so where do we go now?
Other business.
What's next on the agenda?
Well,
I have a question about, it's not on the agenda, it was on my planning commission agenda Tuesday night, and it referred to the minutes for the next calendar year. Do you know why that might not be on the agenda? No, I mean, I'm just asking if you know yes or no. If you don't know, you don't know. Okay. Anyway, that's usually something that's on the first meeting in January, which this is. And the item in hand is, do you want to meet this calendar year the same as you did last calendar year? And of course, last calendar year, if there were any problems with holidays, we moved it a little bit. And the biggest thing that happened within the last year was that the meeting started at 6 o'clock, where they used to start later. So it's up to you, gentlemen, in my opinion, that we should have a motion and vote that we do it the same last year or not.
Okay, day of the month and time of day.
It's obviously the second Thursday of every month, and at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or
Is that
daylight
Eastern
time, whichever.
Time
you
work
want.
for you, Trevor?
6 o'clock local time, yeah.
Yeah, local time, whatever.
well, does it work for you, Bob?
I usually can make it work, but like,
I know.
it gets.
We're not retired on a fixed income like everybody else is.
It gets a little tricky sometimes,
Yeah.
you know.
You know, and I agree with you too, but you know, I frankly got tired of getting home and eating a little bit of dinner and sitting around for an hour and a half and waiting for this thing to start, and then it goes on for another hour and a half. And I'm more in favor of it than I'm against it.
Of keeping the time
Yeah,
at 6
keep it
o'clock.
at 6 o'clock. So that's my opinion.
And I,
Compromise?
Yeah.
6:30?
Well, you could always compromise, but I mean, all the rest of the boards are doing 6 o'clock, so it makes it kind of uniform. My planning commission went for 6 o'clock.
Township meeting.
Yeah, the only one I know that meets at, the fire board meets at 7,
right.
but that's
Thursdays.
pretty sporadic anyway, so.
Yeah, Phil brought up a good point. She meant, Pauline and I talked a little bit this morning too. She, nothing against Lisa, but if we wanted Pauline to be at the meeting to record, she is only available the fourth Thursday of each month. Now, no, that's
Thursday?
Oh,
Did you
Okay,
say fourth?
fourth Thursday of each month.
So she's not available the second Thursday,
Or the third.
or the third, or the first, the fourth. the third.
Okay.
okay, let me just add one thing. And again, nothing against Lisa, okay? Pauline, in her elected position, has no input.
No.
No input here whatsoever. She's strictly recording. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
What's the point?
And it's recorded for, you know,
Well, I was kind of leading to, it's nice that someone referred to that's been at the meeting, heard exactly what was going on the next day. Or if there's any direction that someone could be taking to better improve anything, that she was there.
Well, let's just plain speak up. You think we should have somebody other than Pauline doing it?
I don't think we necessarily have to have her.
No, I agree with that.
And that, yeah, and that's all I'm saying.
I don't think we should move this meeting solely to accommodate her
No,
schedule.
no,
Yeah,
no.
Because
no,
her
no.
schedule could change
No,
again
no.
next month.
Right.
Yeah.
And be different again, so.
Right.
Well,
so
all
that's
right, the lady that's doing it tonight, if she were the preferred person, could she do it on every second Thursday?
Can do it any Thursday.
Any Thursday, okay, well, that answers that question.
That helps. My 2 cents on it is, I own my own business, I work 9 to 5. I'm not working 10 minutes away, I work 30, 40 minutes away in good traffic. And if I have to leave work early to get here, study the case, brief myself, possibly visit the site again, and it's tight. Having said that, I'm fine with 6 o'clock. 6:30 might be a little bit better, but
Yeah, 6:30 would probably be a little bit better for me, but I can make 6 more.
Let's
It's,
pull a hard line, Tony, you did it, I'll do it. I make a motion, we do the same as next year, or this calendar year you did last year.
Who's gonna see?
I'm not gonna support it because
Go ahead,
I can
I'll
do it any
support
time,
it.
any day, doesn't matter.
I'm
Am I allowed to?
No,
No.
you're just a, you're just a,
Yeah.
look,
gonna support me?
watching.
I'll support you if you're lacking the support, but I really don't feel like I should because I can be here any day, anytime. I'm one of those guys,
Whatever you want.
not on a fixed income, on a broken income, but it's,
Okay, motion and support, all right.
so I'll support it.
Okay,
Second Tuesday of the month, 6 o'clock local time.
okay.
I'm sorry, the second Thursday of the month, 6
Basically,
o'clock local time.
yeah, basically the meetings will stand as is the motion and supported.
Yes.
If we can have a roll call vote, please.
Vice Chair Smith,
Yes,
Erickson,
come on, neighbor.
I see both sides of this. I'll say yes, we'll stay with it. I'll cave in.
Tony Spina,
I see both sides.
Yes.
Robert DeWitt,
Yes.
Chair Hayward.
No.
See, I like to see it.
Thank you,
It's already
gentlemen.
passed. That's what it is.
Thank you, gentlemen,
11
thank you,
o'clock,
thank
so-
you.
I see both sides. man.
Hey,
I really do.
I'm just here for you guys. Whatever works for you guys.
Okay.
Well, I know what you guys, no, you guys are fine, I don't have a problem with any of you. We got it. On the other hand, if we have a year like we had last year, it's only half the Thursdays too, you know, we don't meet every month.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Well,
right.
you know, it's not that,
No,
thank you.
no, it's not,
Yeah,
it's
when I was
not
working on it.
do or die or nothing like that.
Okay, so,
Moving on to other business. Is any zoning board reports?
Well, you didn't do the correspondence, is that what you
Oh, I
said?
thought that's what you were jumping into when you were talking about.
No, you said you gotta do correspondence
I'm
first.
sorry, correspondence received.
You don't have any, so now you wanna hear from me.
Right. Well, I don't have any,
No, you're all right.
no, I don't have any.
Next one is, the next one is you again, zoning board reports, that's you're the zoning board.
Gosh, I haven't seen this.
Thanks, that was short and sweet. The planning commission is going along fine, we don't have any problems or any foresee any, and everything's okay with the zoning, or the planning commission.
I need to write some notes. This is me.
You'll
This
get,
is
you'll
me.
get, you'll get used to it.
This is Lawrence.
You'll get used to it.
My
It's
cheat
all-
sheet here.
It's all you, Trevor.
All right, we're gonna open this.
And I know Jeff doesn't have anything to say, so.
We're on public forum, anybody? Like to make a comment, public?
Sorry, Lawrence.
No, I know, that's fine, Jeff, I just Jeff.
Jeff Onashinsky, 120 Lakeland. Just a question on the wording and the interpretation of the revised septic system ordinance. And it says specifically the 100-foot setback may be reduced to not less than 50 feet, provided the applicant submits a township-approved wastewater site. What does that mean, may not be reduced to less than 50 feet?
Well, typically, in the years past, your septic system, I'm sorry, this public forum was opened at 6:53. Typically in the past, you know, your septic systems used to be conventionally gravity drain, leach fields. Let Mother Nature take care of it. These new engineered systems are being filtered and looped and filtered and double filtered. So having multiple cases in front of the board, going through multiple meetings and discussions with engineers and the county, there's really good proof that the systems, the engineered systems are safer within 50 feet to the lake.
Let me, first of all, totally agree with the decision made on the septic system variance request for tonight. I think the system they're putting in will be 1,000 times better than what they currently have. I just, when the proposed new language was discussed, I was under the impression though that you could, the ordinance said 100-foot setback, and it gave an allowance of going down to as low as 50 feet with a county health department approved system.
Okay,
And-
let me
and-
jump in. I think I know what the confusion is. Prior to this change in the ordinance, anything under 100 foot had to come to the ZBA.
Even though the county only requests.
Even if the county said it was okay. If it was under 100 feet, it had to come to the ZBA. The new ordinance, the planning commission, without involvement of the ZBA, can go down to 50-foot clearance.
With the
With an
health
engineered
department approval.
mechanized system.
Right.
It's only when they get under 50 feet with a mechanized system that they have to come to the ZBA,
Like this case.
like this case.
So they may not be reduced to less than 50 feet,
By the planning commission.
just as a threshold for when it hits the zoning board of approvals.
Right.
Okay.
So we got moved from 100 down to 50.
Because there were quite a number of cases that we
Right.
dealt with that were 20-foot variances, 25-foot variances, which, under the new ordinance, would not have to come here at all.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. Anybody else wants to speak in the public forum? Yes, sir.
Maybe I was daydreaming, but I thought it sounded like the seawall's approved, but I didn't hear any vote on anything else.
We're not going to want.
Well, the motion was to approve item number 7 and deny everything else.
But I didn't hear it denied. So,
Well, there was one motion
Okay.
only.
okay, so the slope of invasive eroding plants is going to remain that way.
Yes.
That's not how it was. I think there was some reference to it's been there thousands of years. There was probably trees that were cut down. This stuff grew back. It's doing nothing for anything.
So we,
And for me to get down there with heavy equipment, I'm destroying that hillside. So what do I do with it? I need suggestions here. But nobody, I'm sure you're not qualified to give me some alternatives.
Yeah, we can't give you a suggestion.
So it sounds almost, it's insane. I can do that and tear the hillside up, but I can't fix it. So I can't go down it because I'm gonna ruin it, but I don't know what to do to fix it.
There's other, and you're right, you're correct in saying we're not allowed to give recommendations, suggestions, whatever. There are other types of seawalls.
This has nothing to do with the seawall.
It's what you're saying, you can't get down to do the seawall?
Well, I can't put in steel, they're not even gonna approve it. Steel will not improve a vertical seawall here. They don't do it.
Okay.
we approved here tonight was your
We did that, we did too. So they can't do anything with the hillside other than, except leave it
You
a
can't
bunch of
change.
invasive, unnatural plants and just let it stay that way, right?
Right,
That's it.
yes. You build a seawall, that's it.
I've never heard anything like this. 30 years of going in front of wetland boards, typically they have an environmental company that you have to pay for to even go, and they make recommendations, and if it doesn't fit their guidelines, then you come back again. But in this case, there aren't, they can do nothing.
They, who can do,
We have an ordinance that it says point blank,
Just flat out leave it that way, even though it's a mess?
well, you're gonna remove the current seawall.
Yeah, but I can't get down there without destroying the hillside. These are big rocks.
Okay, I'm not sure what destroying the hillside means, but.
Driving down there with a track excavator
understand.
to excavate what's there,
Yeah.
to put in these large stones destroys the hillside.
Well, destroyed, you're gonna mark up the hillside.
Terrible,
I get-
everything's gone.
Okay, and now the seawall is in,
And the rest of the hill's a barren slope that's gonna wash out.
and you wouldn't seed it in, or just do?
I can't, nothing's approved. Do I replant invasive plants that are there, and try to identify what they are and put it back? Because you want it, you don't want it changed, I can't change it.
No, the
Plant
ordinance,
plants, absolutely.
yeah, the ordinance states no excavating, no changing of the slope. okay, if you drive over the slope, this is my perception of that, you may put tracks in there, you know.
No, you have to cut and create a road you can't drive.
Okay, let's say you do. And you put the wall in, and then you put it back in a natural slope. There's nothing in the ordinance that says that you can't seed it with natural plants. That,
Yeah, you can plant.
you can plant, you know, whatever. The variance was against a structure put in there and then altering, excavating.
Right.
that
I'm trying to
slope.
establish natural plants
Right,
on the slope.
correct. So if, in order for you to put the seawall in, which we agreed to, we approved, you're gonna have to drive over land. Yeah, I mean, that's understood. And if you alter it in any way, I would assume you would put it back in its natural state and then seed it in.
It's unnatural.
Yeah, well,
In this case.
Current state.
well, I'm going.
Current state, which is
Yeah,
unnatural.
that's,
It's been there 100 years.
So the wood
I don't have a
steps,
problem with what Eric's
the wood
saying.
steps have to stay there,
I
No.
think that's something that we shouldn't be,
No, I
giving
don't
too
think
much
we said
advice
that.
but I can't put
Yeah,
in
we
the
have a
steps.
building department that deals with this stuff.
Right.
You didn't approve the
He
steps.
should be talking about the building inspector.
What does the county, what does the county prescribe?
He should be talking to the building inspector.
Right.
Yeah.
And the ordinance allows a walkway through this 25-foot area. It's not like you,
With natural, I could put the steps in, but I didn't hear that because that's part of it.
well, it's not, you-
Well, that was
the stone steps and all these walls and everything else that you asked for was denied.
The stone steps are part of that, so I can't do the stone steps
That was
either.
item 8.
Right, but
And so the wood steps have to remain.
you can rebuild wood steps, you can do new wood steps. You can make a pathway, and that doesn't require any special permission.
Oh, we're not gonna-
But that's the building department. I mean, they can give you more guidance than we can.
Okay.
Okay, let's wrap this up. We're not trying to,
I'm shocked, to be honest with you. I've never heard anything like this.
Well, the problem
I've
is.
been doing this for half my life. I've
Yeah.
never seen anything so unrealistic.
Yeah, we're special.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. You don't need it, you don't need to vote on it.